Hey everybody, it's me, Undead Viking. I'm here to tell you about this game right here. It is called Foodfighters. Now, as that's obviously a play on words of food fight. You know, if anybody's watched Animal House, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Foodfighters is a game by Josh and Helena Kappel. You might know Josh from his artwork that's been on several board games, and I've definitely played a lot of them. But this is, I think, maybe his first design. I don't know. I apologize if these other designs out there, him and his wife. Regardless, this is a game. They contacted me and showed me this, and when I saw the artwork and I showed it to my daughter, she giggled like crazy, and so I knew that I had to take a look at this sucker. And once we got it, my daughter and I have been playing it fairly non-stop. She really, really enjoys it. This game basically pits two warring groups of food. One is veggies and one is meat, and they're attempting to take each other out, and like kind of a last man standing situation. You get 3 types of veggies and 3 types of meat, and you have to take out all of one group of that meat. So you have to take out all of the broccoli, or you have to take, I'm sorry, meat or veggies. You have to take all the broccoli, or you have to take out like all of the chicken legs. And then once you do that, then you win the game. It is played on kind of a grid battle, and there are battle lines, and there are different pieces of food can attack other pieces of food depending on which food they hate. And well, yeah, there you go. That's pretty much all you need to know as far as the theme of the game. Playing the game is actually kind of tricky due to the fact that like certain food can only attack other food depending on the food that they are angry at that time. But there are a lot of different power-ups and abilities that you can give your food that allow you to kind of break that rule and strategically place things in the right spot. So let me show you how to play Foodfighters, and then we'll come right back here and I'll tell you exactly what I think of this one. Alright, cool. Alright, this is Foodfighters, and I've gone ahead and set it up already. As you can probably guess, it is a 2-player game. It is going to pit the meat versus the veggies, and that's the whole idea of this. You have 2 warring sides of food that are going to do battle. To win, you have to knock out 3 of a kind of somebody else's food fighters. So like there's 3 bacons, there are 3 chicken legs, and 3 steaks, just like there are 3 broccolis, 3 onions, and 3 heads of lettuce. So, pretty easy game to play. It's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to show you a quick one of the cards. Here's one of your food fighters. This is a lettuce, and he is thinking about steak. And what that means is that he can legally attack steak when you do an attack. To attack, you have to be either in the front line or possess an extra ability that allows you to reach further. And I will show you how you get those abilities in just a moment. In this case, you can only attack in a straight line, either like this or off like this. So that's a very important rule to keep in mind, basically because once you can actually attack further, it'll come into play a great deal. So in this case, he has no stakes. The stakes are back here. They're out of range. He can't reach them. So unfortunately, that piece of lettuce can't attack anything. However, because it is set up randomly to start with, you will notice that both this piece of bacon and this chicken leg both don't like lettuce, and so both of them would be able to attack. In comparison, this piece of broccoli really hates bacon, and he can reach this piece of bacon and that piece of bacon. And this piece of broccoli hates chicken legs and can attack that chicken leg there. Pretty straightforward, right? Exactly. So, on your turn, you will take an action, and then you will, maybe if you have enough of the beans are the tokens that you're going to use for money. If you have enough beans, you will then purchase an item, and then if you've managed to take out one of your opponent's pieces of food, they will then have to refill that gap, and then they take their turn. So to take your turn, it's pretty simple. You have 3 things you can do. You can attack, you can swap, or you can roll for beans. Attacking is very, like I said, simple. So if I was going first and I was the veggies, I would say I'm going to attack this piece of bacon there, because this piece of bacon is threatening my lettuce. And so I can go ahead, and you have these 2 dice, and the dice have beans on them and also these results that have splats. And if you roll a splat, you successfully attack. So let's see what happens here. So I'm going to roll these 2, and I got a splat. So I'm going to go ahead, and if I did that, I would take out this piece of bacon, and I get to keep it. Now, if I hadn't rolled a splat, let's say I got, this bean and those 2 beans, as a consolation, you get to collect those beans. Yay! I collect 3 beans, and you could use those to buy something. Alternatively, if you do not attack, let's just say, once again, let's say I killed that, or no, wait, I'm sorry, I didn't attack, and I decided to swap. When you swap, you just get to take one of your pieces of food and swap it with another one. So I don't want this guy to get attacked. I mean, admittedly, these broccoli are in danger from him, but there's 2 guys that can attack him. So I'm going to swap. I'm going to move this piece of steak back here, and I'm going to move this onion, because none of these guys hate onions, and we're going to do that. And when you do a swap, you get 1 free bean for doing so. The last thing you can do is roll for beans, in which case you take these 2 dice and you can roll, and then you get the number of beans that you roll. That's the 3rd possible action. You can only do one of those actions, remember. Now, if I rolled a splat with that bean, I get to re-roll the splats until I get beans. So then I get 3 beans with that particular roll. After you've done your action, regardless whether it was attack, a swap, or rolling for beans, you then can purchase an item. You have 3 different types of items that are for you alone. They're the ones that you have access to, and then there is the bonus die that both players have access to, and there are these special cards that you can purchase. So if you had, say, 8 beans, you could buy Bean Boost. Whenever one of your attacks hits, you gain 2 beans. And this little code down here says you get to keep this forever. Once you have it, it is a bonus that you get to keep for the rest of the game. Whereas with crop rotation, perform a swap of 2 of your own fighters or 2 of your opponent's fighters. And then it costs 6 beans, and then it's multi-use. You keep till you want to use it, and then you return to the kitchen. So then, you can rebuy it then if you can later. And finally, with this regrow, take back one of your knocked out fighters, put it anywhere you want on your side, but don't leave a gap. And 1 use. You keep it, and after you get it, and after you use it, it's gone. You don't get to use it again. So for example, then you buy things. Okay, I apologize. And then you have crackers, and crackers you get to, you have 3 of them. Each team gets 3. When you buy a cracker, you just go ahead and put it like so to show that that guy's holding on to it. If a piece of food gets attacked that has a cracker, instead of the food dying, you lose the cracker. And the cracker's gone forever. It's crumbled. The crackers aren't very sturdy, right? So it's gone. You throw it back in the box, and then you don't have access to that. You can have a frying pan, and these are all cost 3, you can probably see over here, but crackers cost 4. A frying pan, you get to then take the frying pan, and you get to place it over what your food is thinking of. And when you do that, they immediately begin the ability, they can attack anything. So in this case, he not only does he originally hated bacon, now he hates everything. He can attack the chicken leg there that's in the middle with the frying pan in play. Now the final part, and this is the one I like the most, is the spoon. And so when you buy a spoon, you place it in the person's hand, like so, like he's holding a weapon like that. What's really cool is that if you get a cracker, he has a weapon and a shield like that. But anyway, when you have the spoon, you can attack as far as you want, as long as it's in a straight line. So, remember I mentioned this earlier? This head of lettuce attacks in a straight line. He can attack all the way to here, meaning that he can attack either of these pieces of bacon. And in a straight line like this, he can attack that piece of bacon as well. So this guy is actually in a perfect spot, for attacking those bacons. And if you get a situation where you can cover it up like that, now the spoon can be used and he could attack anything. You can see how versatile then that particular head of lettuce becomes. Now, once you attack, whether you're successful or not, you attack with your spoon, you lose it. It's gone. You don't get to keep it. So you got to make sure you use your spoon sparingly. The frying pan, once you attack and you have the frying pan, you do lose it, but it just goes right back into your kitchen, and you can rebuy it again on another turn. The final thing you can buy is the bonus die, which is obviously just a bonus die. You get to use it on your next roll, whether it is rolling for beans or an attack or whatever. The next time you roll, and then as soon as you roll it, so let's say you roll for beans, and like in this case, you get 5 beans for rolling that. You return it to the kitchen after that. And when you go to purchase, you're not allowed to buy the die again on that same turn that you used it, giving the opponent the chance to buy it on their turn. If they don't buy it on their turn, then it reverts back to you, and you are more than welcome to snag it on your turn after that. The game will continue, as I said, until one person manages to take out 3 of a kind of the other person's food. That doesn't mean you shouldn't kill the other ones because you want to knock them out, but you have to kill 3 of them. Now, in that situation I had where you knocked out, I took out that bacon. We put that over here to show that I've got that, and we can try to aim for getting those other bacons. The other player then, before they begin their turn, they have to refill the gap. And so they'd have to go ahead and pick one of the people in the furthest row back and move it up into the spot. So maybe he'd take this steak and he'd put it up there because the steak hates onions, and now he'd be able to attack that one. So there you go. That's how you play Foodfighters. It is a very clever game in which that you're always trying to make sure that you have the perfect food in the perfect situation to be able to use to make sure that you can attack, but the other person can't. And so there's a lot of jockeying for position, and there's a lot of scrambling to get your food into the right spot. And also, nothing is cooler than, like I said, having a guy with a spoon way back here being able to attack all the way out to the end and having him be able to take out somebody's steak or onion or whatever. I prefer playing the veggies, mostly because my daughter won't let me play them because she likes bacon a lot. So, alright, well there you go. That's how you play Foodfighters. Let me tell you exactly what I think of the game. Thank you very much for watching that and how to play Foodfighters. I hope you have a really good idea of how the game is played. There isn't a lot to it. The rules, once again, fairly simple, but it has a lot of different options and different strategies that evolve as you play the game, as far as jockeying, as I said, those different meats and veggies into the right spots so they're able to attack each other successfully. I have played this game with my game group. I've played it with people head-to-head, and I've taken it to my local game store and just sprung it on randoms, and they've all said they thought it was clever and thought it was fun. They like the theme, the kind of the spin of it's a fairly standard kind of battle line skirmish game, but the theme and the kind of whimsical nature of it really makes it shine for a lot of people. And if it was just that, those people that I played it with, I'd still recommend the game highly, just because of how engaged and interactive I am when I do play the game. But the reason why I really have liked this game a lot is basically it's taken another step for my daughter in her road to gamer ism, I guess, if you will. She is 7 years old. She's going to be 8 here in about 3 weeks, and she is her father's daughter. She is a gamer, and she enjoys playing games. And this is another step. This is one of those things where she took another big moment or whatever, as far as being able to look at a game and figuring out well, I need to get this guy out of that spot, and I need to put that guy over here, and trying to find that perfect food, the one that hates broccoli or whatever that's nearby that can attack, but is also not hated by the veggies that can reach it. And it was fun watching her figure out the puzzle of which ones to give the spoons to, and which ones to give the frying pans to, and she was always annoyed when I would take out the crackers that her food had, because she really liked protecting certain foods of those crackers, and when I knocked those out, she got really worried about her precious bacon, if you will. But it was highly engaging, highly fun for me just to kind of sit back and watch her piece out her turn, you know, and it's I've removed myself from like the coaching aspect. I mean, when she was younger, I would try to explain to her, no, you should probably do that piece, you should probably do that piece, you know, and try to explain to her why. But this was like one of those first games where I told her how to play the game, I gave her the basic rules, and then I just sat back and I watched her figure it out. And at the very beginning, I was winning a lot, you know, because I, you know, grasped the strategy of it, and she would make errors. But after about the third or fourth play in, she got really tough and really started figuring it out. And she would have like the two pieces in her hand, you know, and she'd be looking at it and trying to figure it out, and then she'd place it, no, and then she'd like kind of place it, and she'd look to see if like there was one nearby that could hit her, and I really enjoyed that, and it's for that experience alone. I think that if you are a gamer and you have children that are showing an interest in your hobby, like my daughter does for mine, I think it's something you definitely want to look at as far as like the family aspect of the game as well. And they call the company is called Kids Table Board Gaming, which I really enjoy, as far as the name of it. You know, you know, when you say Kids Table, I'm just reminded of like, you know, Thanksgiving dinner when all the kids are sitting at the table going crazy and throwing mashed potatoes at each other. You know, but this is definitely a game that is geared. The artwork, the strategies, the thinking of the game, I believe, is geared towards you know, children, and also like kind of like that parent-child connection playing the game as well. So, one, if you just want to have a game that's, you know, like I said, whimsical and has a nice artwork, and you can just kind of relax and play a game with your buddy, like, you know, when you're waiting for another game to start up, or just, you know, as something as a facilitator of the conversation or the time that you spend with them, I think this is something you want to look at. If you have children, I think this is definitely a game you're going to want to take a look at and put on your game shelf. So the next time when they say, I want to play a game, and there's only two of you, you can take this one down and you can match wits, you know, with your third grader like I did. And frankly, recently I've been on a losing streak with this game as well. She has definitely been taking it to me, and nothing makes me more happy than when she achieves a victory and really deserves it. And that makes me very happy to see that happen. And more or less, you know, and plus, you know, the game doesn't last all that long. We can probably get through a game in about 20 minutes or so now, and it's definitely a very satisfying 20 minutes at that. So there you go. That is Foodfighters. If you have any questions about the game, please ask away. I'll try to answer those to the best of my ability. As always, I greatly appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. And until next time, this was me, the Undead Viking, telling you to have yourself a heck of an awesome day. Alright, bye-bye.